The house really doesn't have bad curb appeal.
Yeah.
It's just something's missing here.
Yeah, but it really does have huge potential.
Yeah, I think so. This week, we're helping a young couple make their front entrance more inviting with a poppin' porch.
Finishing it off has been put on hold since we're about to have a baby in 2 months, so.
Homeowners love a good, straightforward, practical approach to home improvement.
Not every home needs a total overhaul.
That's why we focus on small projects that'll make a big difference.
Oh, love it.
Gosh, yes!
Chelsea always has some great ideas for homeowners.
And Dad's practical knowledge with his fun-loving attitude is why we've been around for so long.
The most realistic, most current home improvement information you're going to find anywhere. Pretty slick, huh?
Families that improve their homes together stay together.
In the Midtown area of Mobile, Alabama, there are thousands of homes that were built in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. This one belongs to expecting parents Matthew and Carrie Bradley.
What is that? Does the strap hold the baby down? Release the inner air and then zip it up, so.
Oh, I got you.
We've been in the house for about 2 years together, and we really like that the yard is really small and easy to maintain. We love the neighborhood, especially the big oak trees, and just the character of the neighborhood is what really attracted me to this house.
I like that it's an older house, sturdier construction, but you know, with like all old houses, you're gonna have little issues here and there. Like the front porch. The front porch, it's kind of had like a little spring as soon as you go into the door there, and I took up a couple of boards, and lo and behold, it was completely rotted out. Still not done with it, but
Small project turned into a complete replacement.
yeah, pretty much.
The big project of having to replace the porch was the last one, and finishing it off has been put on hold since we're about to have a baby in 2 months. So our focus has shifted from the front porch to the nursery.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot to prepare for that. So the front porch has kind of been on the back burner. So it'd be really nice to have some help to finish that project.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
Pretty good, how are you,
All right,
man?
good to see you again, Matt. You know, the house really doesn't have bad curb appeal.
Yeah.
It's just something's missing here.
Yeah, but it really does have huge potential.
Yeah, I think so. So what are some of the things on your wish list on some of the things you'd like to see changed?
Well, I'd like to see these bushes gone. Like having the greenery, but kind of block the view from the front porch.
Does feel like it's closing in the porch a little bit.
Oh yeah, another thing is, since we have a baby on the way,
Oh, that's right.
thinking about
yeah.
putting some handrails up. That'll be a peace of mind, especially when it gets to crawling or walking age.
Well, I tell you what, this whole neighborhood has really cool front porches. You think about a simple handrail.
Absolutely.
And I think just looking around the neighborhood and everything, I think I have just the type of design that'll look just like it belongs to the house.
Perfect.
And the columns,
I would love to maybe add a little bit of trim and then paint it the same off-white as the rest of the trim around the house.
looks like you had a pretty good carpenter do your front porch.
Was it you, Matt?
It looks good.
I didn't quite finish it out. What I had left to do on the porch, the trim around the edges has a little rot on it, and probably take out the last remaining of the wrought iron.
That white door. It's
Yeah.
begging to be painted.
Yeah, Chelsea's gonna want to paint that door. And I'm sure you use the front swing a lot.
I want to fix the paint on the swing. I spray painted it white about 2 years ago, and you can obviously see it's just flaking away. I didn't paint it correctly, so the paint keeps peeling off every time you sit on it.
Oh, man.
Having that one solid color will be nice.
Y'all use the front door to get in and out of the house?
Yeah,
every
that's
day?
our main.
That's our main
Oh,
entrance.
so, really good. So y'all will get to enjoy it too, not
Yes.
just for the guests. I like that.
You know, now it's just the two of us, and it's only a 2-bedroom house. So as we're starting to get more and more baby stuff, we're realizing the house is getting smaller and smaller on the inside. So we want to spend more time on the outside. So having a nice place to sit outside and relax and be outdoors with the baby, that would be really great.
All right, now when we talked before, you wanted to get rid of all of these things.
Yeah.
Are you still cool with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so
You
I
gonna
got
get started
you
with that?
that little friend.
We're getting ready to pull up these shrubs, and Danny handed me a shovel. So that kind of set the pace of what's about to happen.
You know, since we have all of these people here, we could all get shovels. Wouldn't really take long to get those big overgrown shrubs out of there.
But
you know what I'm gonna do. And then I've got something here that's gonna make it
That ought to do
a
it.
lot easier.
if you have a truck, you're gonna use it.
Yeah. Really, all we have to do is to take that strap, wrap it around the loop, and then hooking it to the trailer hitch on the back of the truck. It won't take long.
All right. You tight. All right, it's up. You're good. Well, if they all come up like that, we'll be done in about 5 minutes.
It's like, oh, this will be easy, but once we get to the ones in the middle that are more alive, having to really tug at it, you're wondering, oh my gosh, is it gonna get out?
That's coming up. All right, keep coming.
They come out one by one. It's just opening up that front porch and honestly making it look bigger and making me excited to see what's to come.
Oh, that one was easier. Now we got it. We got it figured out now.
It was nice saying goodbye to the great wall of holly bushes. Feels like the porch is no longer hidden.
I know, it feels so much more open already.
Yeah, I don't know why we haven't done this sooner.
I'm getting ready to dig the dirt out from along that fence line because those boards are buried in the dirt and they should not be. But like most wooden handled tools, this one does not have a cushioned grip. But I'm going to add one using self-adherent wrap. You can get this at any pharmacy. It's typically used for sprained ankles and sprained wrists, but it works great as a cushioned grip on hand tools. So you just start wrapping it around. Now this is not a tape, so it doesn't have any adhesive, but it does stick to itself. So it works really well. And as you're going around, overlap, leave about 1/4 of an inch or so from the previous wrap. And you may have noticed I've also added this to the handles of the wheelbarrow, making the wheelbarrow handle really comfortable. So you go all the way around. When you get to the bottom, go around 2 or 3 times to form a little bit of a knob. That makes it easier to grip. And then just trim it off with a pair of scissors and press it on. And look at that, it sticks right to itself. Now, not only is the handle much more comfortable, but it adds a little safety because your hand won't slip off.
Coming up,
Bubbling off the surface, and then you get to scrape it like you're peeling off a sunburn.
we're helping Matthew and Carrie rehab their front porch, and the porch swing is one of the first improvements. You think you can make that porch swing look a little better?
Yeah, it
maybe?
kind of looks like a Dalmatian. It's very spotted right now.
Very peeling Dalmatian.
Yeah, I think we can get rid of that. All right, so I want to first get rid of all the peeling paint.
Okay.
So we'll scrape that. I'll work on the sander to just get a nice smooth layer.
Okay.
And then how did you paint it before?
I just put some spray paint on it. I didn't do anything to prep it. I just took a can of spray paint and went at it, and what do you know, it started flaking again.
So we'll sand it and get it prepped, and then what do you think about going back with the black?
With the black?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, yeah, I think that'd look nice.
Since if we're gonna paint the columns white, then this will
kind of contrast
yeah.
with it. Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay, awesome. So you work on the scraping.
Okay.
Is there anything more iconic than a swing on a front porch? I love that we're giving this one another life with a fresh coat of paint that's gonna last a lot longer than the last coat.
All right, it's time to get rid of these fine pieces of artwork here. Now, you took some of these others down on the outside. How in the world did you do it? I don't even see any screws or anything.
Yeah, they kind of painted over them pretty good, but you can kind of see the outlines of them right here at the bottom. I used a metal blade on mine and cut it into pieces.
What I'm gonna do is just nip them and see how well that does, because they look pretty, yeah, they move. It's got about 16 coats of paint on it. So. I don't know about this.
That wrought iron's been there for a while.
Are you wanting to save these?
No.
No. Well, let's go to another route.
Would have known that, I would have just got the hammer and knocked it. Would have made my day a lot easier.
We also need to repair this rotten corner board, which is 1 inch thick. So we're ripping a 1 inch thick deck board to fit the space. But the thickness of this wood isn't the only reason we chose it. It's also pressure treated, and that's important.
Pressure-treated wood is a great choice for outside, whether it be a deck, trim, or whatever you need it for. If you want wood to last longer, pressure treating protects it against moisture and also protects it against termites.
Once we remove the old corner boards and replace them with the new ones, we're ready for primer.
It's okay if you get some on the siding, because after it dries, we'll go back and put caulk there.
Okay.
And we'll do touch-up paint on the brown. And while you're doing that, I have a project I'm very excited about. My husband and I stripped paint off of our brick steps when I was pregnant, and so I couldn't do it. And he got to do all the fun stuff. So now I get to do it. I'm gonna go strip that black paint off your front steps.
Perfect.
I love the color of these concrete steps, but the peeling paint has got to go. And the best way to do that with all of these layers and years of paint on these steps is to remove it with a chemical stripper. The chemical reaction happens pretty quick, and it's so satisfying to see the paint bubbling off the surface, and then you get to scrape it like you're peeling off a sunburn.
Now for the porch rails.
Dad, you've been doing handrails like this a long time, where you put a bevel on the bottom rail.
Well, whenever you see it rain on it, you'll see why, because it'll flow right off of it. So this is beveled to where the water will run off that way.
Good deal. It was pretty neat. They angled it away from the house, away from the porch, so water doesn't get trapped on there. It just sheds right off.
Once we cut the beveled bottom rail and the top rail to length, we tack them in place at the proper heights. Then we cut the 2x2 spindles to fit the space between the rails, with the same 15-degree angle on one end. So we can nail the spindles in place using a spacer block to keep the intervals consistent. And for extra security, we're having Matt use 3-inch screws to anchor the rails to the walls and columns. Okay, now I think you told me y'all were having a little boy?
Yes, sir, Wyatt.
Wyatt, okay. So they're gonna come out here, and Wyatt's gonna stand right here and jump up and down. So we gotta put what we call a kitty block in here, so that, or we can call it a Wyatt block.
There we go.
And put it right in here, just like that. We'll put a nail in it, and he can climb around here all he wants.
The railing we had on the porch before was wrought iron, so it was just these black bars, so it almost felt like the porch was caged in. But with this new wood railing, it's opened it up and made it more inviting and not so jail-like.
All right, we can get this 4x4 in. I'm gonna let you be the concrete man there. If you can just cut it, and we don't mix it or anything, we just pour it right in the hole.
Pour it right in? Okay.
Dad, your 4x4 post at the bottom of the stairs is going to bear a lot of the weight of people going up and down the stairs.
Well, it is. It'll get tested a lot.
Yeah.
That's why we're putting in the fast-setting concrete and Quickcretes, making it, really tight, really quick.
They'll definitely need it whenever I have baby in tow, so having that support there is nice.
All right, I believe that's it. Don't let anybody touch that, and I believe that's it for the day. Pretty good day, don't you think?
Yes, sir, I do believe so.
All right, looks great.
Doing a weed and feed treatment on your lawn is so efficient because you basically do one process and you've done 2 tasks. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. But Vigoro has come up with advanced particle technology in their weed and feed that I think you're gonna like. Now, what this basically means is that the particles are smaller, so that when they dissolve, they're going to make your lawn greener in as little as 72 hours. Now, also those little particles can get down to the roots of your weeds and eliminate those even faster. Now, there is a time-release nitrogen in these particles, so it can last up to 2 months, so you're not having to repeat that process. So if you want a greener lawn and eliminate things like dandelion and clover, Vigoro has got a great weed and feed for you.
This Best New Product segment is brought to you by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Coming up,
Oh, that looks nice. She hit the nail on the head with that color.
we're starting the second day of work on Matthew and Carrie's porch. Overnight, they primed all the woodwork, so this morning we can hit the ground running.
An easy way to add character to the front of your house is by painting your front door a fun color. So that's what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna take it off the hinges and remove all of the hardware so that we can get to sanding and prepping this door for a fresh coat of fun paint. You wanna go ahead and take the rest of the screws off? We're anxious to see what's underneath this kick plate.
And I gotta admit, staining the top of this, that's gonna look pretty good.
I think
I
so
like
too.
that. Plus, all the good work you did on the deck. What about the deck? What motivated you to change it? Termites or rot, or what'd you find?
Well, I was thinking maybe termites, but mainly rot.
Well, it's funny when you say, it's good that it was rot. I mean, it's not good that it was rot, but it's better than
It's
termites.
better than termites, yeah.
Having a metal kick plate on a metal door is really unnecessary, so we're removing it and patching the holes with an automotive body filler that we can sand smooth, and once we get a coat of paint on it, you'll never know it was there. So this is why I like to take hardware off, because you see like the brush strokes going around it, and then there's also like a paint buildup. I like to take it off so you can just get it nice and smooth and straight. Looks a lot better.
Of course, as you know, a circular saw will not cut through a 4x4. So cutting the angle first and then transferring those lines around with the speed square can't go wrong. That angle will be perfect. So that angle should work out pretty well.
It looks like it fits in there just right.
Good. All right, time for you to nail it. Okay, now get your level. Anytime you do a handrail, you want to make sure it's there if someone needs it. Okay, that'll lock it in nicely. Now grab it a little bit.
Oh yeah, nice and sturdy.
Oh, that looks nice. When she first opened up the paint can, I thought it was going to be darker, but just seeing this lighter color, I felt like I'd already seen it before. And that's because it's so close to the color I picked out for my nursery. I think it's just maybe like a shade or two off. So she hit the nail on the head with that color.
So we have all these panels. So what I like to do is paint the grooves, okay? And then we'll smooth this out in the middle. And then after all the panels are painted, we'll do nice long streaks on the other parts.
Seeing the color go on the door, it really put a smile on my face, because for all the time that I've been here, it's just been this plain white, boring door. So now it kind of has a little pop of color, a little personality. So every time I come home, just see a little bit of me as I walk through the door.
Once Matt and I finish the handrail on the steps, we wrap the columns with trim at the top and bottom. Then Matt begins staining the top of the upper rail, while I begin changing the ceiling fan.
The stripper did exactly what it was supposed to do with these front steps and eliminated all of the ugly, old peeling paint. So now we have a fresh surface to apply epoxy coating onto these steps that'll last and stick to this concrete.
While Chelsea continues painting the steps, Carrie and Matt begin top coating all the primed woodwork to finish out the day.
Just a little bit more to go. So many spindles. So many spindles.
In the morning, we begin tackling the landscape around the porch.
I love these plants that are going in because we still get that pop of green, but they're shorter, so it's not blocking our view.
We have some pretty plants going in our flower bed here, so I want to dress it up and get rid of the plastic edging that was here and put something maybe more formal and rigid.
I'd really like to use some of the paved stone pavers, stack them right on their end, and it won't take very long, and it'll define it, we'll make it nice and level. I think that's the way to go. And now, there's one final task to help safeguard this porch for Matt, Carrie, and their new baby.
We have a beautiful fresh coat of paint on these concrete steps, but now we're going to apply a clear coat that will add traction to these steps so they won't be slick when it rains.
Matt and Carrie's porch was the perfect size for their home, but over the years it had lost much of its character and appeal. The porch floor that Matt rebuilt was mostly hidden by a wall of holly bushes. And the peeling paint on the steps, the swing, and the lingering wrought iron details left the porch without much of an identity. But now, the shrubs are gone, and the porch has become the focal point the house needed. The new handrail suits the character of the house perfectly and defines the space without closing it in. The new color on the columns ties the house and porch together, while the black on the swing and front steps adds contrast. So the pale blue front door and the updated landscaping can simply say, welcome to guests as they arrive.
It looks 10 times better than it did before. Oh my gosh, I love the pop of color with the front door. Now we have some color where those bushes used to be. Just looks clean, fresh, open, inviting. Just love it.
Yeah, it added a lot of character to that front porch and the house itself. I mean, it really draws your attention as soon as you cut the block. It'll catch your eye.
Having that handrail on those steps is going to make such a difference whenever we're hauling strollers and baby items up and down those steps every day. So That makes me happy.
So, what do you think? This is what we do every week here on Today's Homeowner, putting together a few simple projects to make a big difference. And we definitely improve the curb appeal of this home. Now, there's more information about this project and all of our projects at our website. Drop by and visit anytime. Hey, thanks so much for being with me and Chelsea here on Today's Homeowner. Come see us next week. We thought this would be...
Isn't it so cute and tiny?
I had one just like this when I was a little kid too.